Okay, let's go.
Hello there, chick chatters and sister wives watchers. We are back with the wedding special with Christine's wedding. Well, I guess David's wedding too, but it's Christine's wedding. There is an update for us on the cameo front. A couple videos back, we mentioned that we might get cameo with Kody for him to say like, hey, chick chatters, welcome to the channel, or whatever the message would be. And I downloaded Cameo and I started kind of looking at their prices. Cody's ridiculous, you guys. Cody is $150 for...
How long?
I think you could do up to 2-3 minutes, but geez and rice.
Oh
we don't need a 2-3 minute message though. We need like a hey chick chatters.
Yeah, that man values his time.
Way too much. So then I started looking and seeing if there were any other sister wives, and there are. So Christine goes for about $60, which is doable for us. We could go 50-50 on that. We also have Janelle for $50 that we can reach out to either of those ladies. Mary does have one, but she's unavailable, and Robyn does not have one. And what did you say about that?
That is just like their personalities. So we have Kody, who's dramatic, right? So a dramatic price for a dramatic guy. Then we have Christine, who, I mean, she's worth it. So she's at $60. And we have Janelle, and not that she's not worth it, but she's practical. So she gives us a more practical price. Mary's, of course, unavailable. Duh. And Robyn just like ceases to exist because, of course, she's part of Kody. So it just stands for all of their personalities right inside their cameo profiles. I thought it was wonderful.
That is our update. If you guys truly want to see a Kody, we will have to do a GoFundMe for that. We're on tough times here. Brooke's about to get married. We just had Christmas. I had a honeymoon.
It could also just be like a future goal for the chick chatters. I mean, maybe eventually, we'll get to the point in life where either we can afford that, or maybe the channel is helping us in some way to be able to afford that, but we'll see. We'll get there. But we are open to seeing or Janelle. I think me and Anne are both leaning towards Christine. I don't know. We're thinking about getting an intro with Christine. We think that would be funny. So let us know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so if you guys really want it and you guys commented it and let us know, then we will probably pull trigger on Christine or Janelle. We'll go 50-50 on it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. On to your scheduled programming.
Without further ado.
We start off that episode with Christine's sister and mom showing up, but we mainly start the episode off with a confessional with Christine and David. And this is the first time we see David in the confessional setting in Christine's little room there.
He is in her little room.
Where they always put her now.
I forgot.
Well, they go over how they met, and I'm not going to get too into it because we've gone into how they met a bunch of times. Mainly, they just met online, and Christine stalked him, and that's where they are today.
I did hear some tea, though, on a YouTube video that I was watching earlier today. The tea came from McKelty's Patreon. She has a Patreon where she watches the show back, and I guess Christine and David showed up for a few minutes. Somewhere along the line, it got brought up that David's sisters live plural marriage in Mexico.
Yeah.
And Christine's paternal family is like very big plural marriage, like plural marriage royalty type of thing. And they live in Mexico in some cult. And apparently that is the cult that David's sisters are in. Yes.
Oh, so we muddying some waters?
It gets muddier. Apparently, when Christine was like 10 years old and David was like however old he was when Christine was 10, they met each other at a family function. Yeah, for his sister's plural marriage or some kind of crazy.
When they met, like, did they realize that at first?
I don't know. But I guess there's some kind of documentary out there about the cult that they're in.
Oh, goodness, you guys. We might have to try to find it.
It's like not a good cult. I mean, no cults are good cults.
Well, later on it gets brought up. We might as well talk about it now that David does have two sisters in Mexico in a plural marriage. My question, though, is, are they in the same plural marriage? Like, are they married to the
I'm not sure. I I don't think so. That part wasn't implied, but I think they're in the same religion, which
Okay.
people call this particular religion, like the sect or whatever, a cult, and they are, I guess, based in Mexico. And yeah, I mean, I brought it up because we know their story, at least as they've told us. I guess they met each other when they were 10 years old. Obviously, they probably didn't interact or anything, but it's unbrought up or acknowledged that they were at the same event, family events. They're not related, but family.
We
Their
don't
family
really
might be
know.
married. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It really is a small, small world, especially in Utah. So
Yeah, small world of polygamy.
we go to Janelle, and she says that they didn't really talk much about David when she would be hanging out with Christine. When they started dating, Christine was a little bit more hush hush about it. But she did say that the first thing Christine talked about with David was that he actually helped when it came to events and things. And then they show a clip of Kody just like standing around with the kids. I just love when TLC throws the shade. Let's
So
show
good.
you Kody doing nothing. I don't even know what he was holding. It looked like he was doing absolutely nothing with a
It's like,
trinket in his
let's
hand.
not leave it up to your imagination. We got the clips to prove it.
So David talks about how on his date with Christine, he sprung his 8 kids on her in a conversation, and he does that with every woman to get their reaction, which I was kind of confused because he knows this woman has 6 kids. He knows that she lives polygamy publicly. We should know she's not any which way, shape, or form intimidated by that.
Christine says that she has 9 of her siblings that are going to be coming. Her dad's going to be coming, and her mom and her other mom are going to be coming, along with Janelle and all of Janelle's kids. We might as well, I guess, get into this part of the tea. Gwendolyn, that's her name, right? She goes by Gwen.
Mhm.
She wasn't at the wedding, and nobody addresses it whatsoever. At first, I didn't know why, and I thought it was like kind of sus and weird, but this was also in the video that I was watching earlier. I guess Gwen was saying still that she was caught up. I think she's in school right now. She also has a Patreon watching the shows back, but she's put a pause to that because of school. But it's been said that TLC filmed Gwen's engagement party for this upcoming season. TLC pretty much overshadowed her actual engagement party because that was the first time that Kody and David were going to meet each other. So they made a big deal out of Kody and David and not a big deal out of the engagement party. And I guess rightfully so, Gwen is pretty upset with production. And so that might be a reason as to why she didn't show up to the wedding too, which is pretty heartbreaking, honestly. If you can't go to your own mom's wedding because she's filming her TV show, it's not Christine's fault, but I don't know. It just feels icky.
Well, and these episodes haven't even aired yet, so we don't really know if they're going to completely be overshadowed anyways. 2
Right.
things can happen in one episode and
True.
keep my interest. So,
That's true.
well, McKelty and Tony show up, and they honestly look so good. You wouldn't know this woman just had twins, I don't know how many months ago, but she looks
know.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking when I saw all of Christine's daughters with their long hair, I was wondering if you missed your long hair looking at that.
I
with all their long
do. I was exactly thinking that. That's so funny that you said that. Especially when they curled it because I never did anything really with my hair except straightened it. And I mean, I still don't. I put this clip in it now when I podcast. That's
Mhm.
about it. But no, when it was curled, it just looked really pretty. So yeah, it does make me miss it, but I don't miss like caring for it. I don't miss it getting stuck
Sitting on
places.
it.
I'm actually due for a trim soon, and I think I'll do it.
Yeah, Chick Chatters. Brooke used to have hair like past her butt.
In between probably like my butt and my kneecap. So that's probably how long it was. And I'm only like a 5-foot person. So it was starting to get a little cousin it for me. So I cut it off.
Like it was
Yeah,
McKelty long.
it's true. I do miss it a little bit. I mean, it's pretty, but
You can always grow it back. But after this, we go to Kody, who's cutting down a tree. And I was like, this is so random.
is that what he's
Why-
doing out there? Okay.
Yeah, he's pulling a Mary and cutting down his trees. There goes the Christine tree as she's getting married.
That's true.
Apparently, Kody found out about the wedding from a wedding announcement at his sister's house, and he was like, I guess she invited some of my siblings, which is a little weird.
And you guys have been married for 30 years. You have plenty of children together. I think you're going to forge some relationships that hopefully do stand the test of time, hopefully do stand the test of going through a divorce. nobody did anything majorly wrong in this. They just decided not to be together anymore. So why would Kody's family not support Christine?
Well, especially when Christine definitely didn't do anything wrong. It was more Kody, if
Right.
anybody. I mean, if you're gonna pretend to be in love with people for 30 years and then put it all out there like, oh, I was never in love. That's on you. Nobody's got
So
a problem here but you. And he starts to talk about how he's okay with Christine getting married. He's fine with it. And he starts to talk about her making an accusation, but Robyn has to cut in and be like, we're happy for them. No, we're happy for them. And she's doing this thing where I think she would like grabs his face again, like she did to the Jeff commenter guy. And she's really trying to hone in on his attention, and he was just still trying to talk.
yeah.
Oh man. And
He
yeah,
said
Kody
that he's glad that she found her soulmate. And he said, I'm happy that that's a fact and that's all. I think that that's what he was trying to say whenever she
yeah.
said that. But he said it a lot more genuinely than she did, in my opinion. Like when I heard him say, she's happy, she found her soulmate, that's all. He didn't sound happy about it, but it sounded genuine at least. She was so sarcastic. Like, aren't we just so happy for them? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
And what he was saying was that Christine told the kids, your dad has his soulmate, I'm gonna go find mine. So
Mhm.
he was relaying that. And I think once he said, well, Christine told my kids, and Robyn was like, I gotta go in and save this. No, just let the man talk. He's already digged himself enough holes here. I don't think he can dig himself any further by what he says at this point. There's nothing
So
you can protect us from. Yeah, so that was a really awkward moment between Kody and Robyn, but we'll get one more later. So
and he ends it with this like cheesy smile too. He's like,
and it was funny because he's like, just because I've been angry for 3 years doesn't mean I was gonna say something mean.
all we've seen him do is say mean shit.
For 3 years or longer. They showed them all in that 2019 conversation. He was saying mean stuff then. This has been going
It
on
started
forever.
with the nachos when she was like 19. She's been mean the whole time.
I mean, look at how we handled Jeff. Okay, like this
Right.
man doesn't have a nice bone in his body right now for other
Jeff
people.
was just trying to be nice.
I couldn't tell.
Cody's not laughing.
No, he ain't laughing.
Well, I'm not laughing.
Mackenzie talks about how she loves David and they have this like nice light relationship where they just kind of tease each other. She also talks about how it's interesting that Christine and David are getting married after like about a year when her and Tony got married pretty fast and everybody was tripping out about it at first. And I do remember that. I do remember them being like, are you sure? Like, you're young. You guys have only been dating for like about a year, I think, at the time, or about 6 months, but they didn't get married for another like 5-6 months after that. Yeah, they were a little bit harder on Mackenzie, but she was strong in her choice. She was just like Christine about it. She's like, nope, this is my person. I'm gonna marry him.
Yeah, they seem like they have a great relationship. When you know, I guess. But I guess they've only really been together like 10 or 11 months.
Yeah, Christine had to confess that and then tell us not to tell her kids. It's like, girl, they're gonna watch this. But then Christine starts talking about her garage wedding and how boring it was.
Bad
There was
music playing.
no dancing. Her parents weren't even really there. I guess she said her dad might have been there, but her mom wasn't there. So it just sounds like a sad day in a garage. No aisle to walk up. She's wearing a balloon dress. She isn't happy. Kody says he's got some 10-mile long stare. Nobody seems happy in this whole situation and sounds like a horrible wedding. She said it was
Cody said it was a sad day too. He said he had 2 wives that were emotionally unstable.
yeah. And I was like, both of them? Like, I can see Mary a little bit, but Janelle was really emotionally unstable, even though
Yeah, I
she,
couldn't see it.
yeah, no, whatever. So then we learned that Christine actually had another date set up after her first date with David, and she canceled on him because she was just like, this is it. This is my bald-headed man. With the blue eyes. I just need him. This is it.
Need his eyes to stare at me until I die.
She called up her matchmaker. She called up this date. She canceled everything. She probably canceled her whatever Christian Mingle or whatever type of subscription she had.
She
Canceled
probably
it all.
called up that venue in Moab, Utah that day too. She was ready.
Put her deposit down, the whole nine. Yeah. They go to the wedding rehearsal day, and it's conveniently on October 6th, which is funny because it's my mom's birthday. So that was Christine's wedding rehearsal. And they started doing these facial kits. And mind you guys, I'm an esthetician, so this was like killing my soul to watch these people do a facial like a day before the wedding. Now, this is professional advice, okay? Like, don't do a facial the day before a wedding. Do it the week before, so this way you can clear out your face, because a lot of times it brings whatever is lingering under right to the surface. It cleans it out, brings it right to the surface. So you could wake up that next day with a zit right here and it's on your wedding day. Don't do this. Please don't do this.
I'm gonna ask a question as someone who's not educated. They had just like those masks. Is that okay to do the day before your wedding? She
The
said
mask?
facial, but they did like a mask, a hydrator, and an SPF or something.
The SPF you should always wear anyways, but the mask, depending on what kind of mask it was, I probably would have did the mask a week before. But the moisturizer and the SPF, that was fine. It's just like if
That's
you're
a
gonna,
daily thing, yeah. But that's what
yeah,
I was wondering, like, those masks seem less intense than, like, an actual facial would, because I know that's a pretty common rule and good for people to know because you do not wanna have, like, a red face and all that at your wedding. But I
yeah.
wonder about those things.
It does depend on what mask it is. It also depends on how often they wash their face and stuff at home. You know, if they're not always doing this and then they do this mask, like, yeah, you're more likely to have a zit or something up here. But if this
True.
is something you do more on a regular basis, then maybe not
Yeah,
so much. If they did an exfoliator, if they did the whole nine with the serums and all that, then
right.
yeah, I mean, definitely I wouldn't have done that like the day before. Don't
Yeah,
do a deep, intense cleaning of your face the day before. If you already didn't do it at that point, just leave it, because you don't
right.
want something to pop up on you in the middle of the night and then be like, oh my God, it's my wedding day. Now I gotta cover this zit. Or if you already have a zit, it's not really gonna take it away just by doing a facial
Right.
like the day before. So definitely do it a week before. That's my
You know what
recommendation.
does takes its away? Those little stickers that they
They
have
do.
now. Those things are amazing.
If you do see like one of those, I
Use
would
it.
just pop one of those on if you can. And
Love those.
yeah, those things can help you in a last minute pinch for sure, especially
Mhm.
like a day or two before. Yeah, that's fine.
Christine's wedding featuring beauty advice.
Yeah, there you go.
She said at first too, she's like, "We're all getting facials," and I was a little bit taken aback, but then I saw they were just like those paper ones, so I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, maybe that's okay," but I get it. I mean, if you don't do them very often, they looked when they were doing their interviews afterwards, they looked very moisturized, and if
Mhm.
yeah, if you're not doing that a lot, you could definitely conjure up a pimple.
Yeah, because half the time they're just waiting anyways. Like it's just
Right.
something like you might be feeling it's about to come in. You know how sometimes
Mhm.
your face gets a
Oh,
little
yeah.
tender in that spot, or you can kind of feel it. Like I got one coming in around my nose somewhere, but if I feel around there, I'm like, oh, I feel it coming in. If I did a
Right.
facial right now, it would come right out, because that's what a facial does. Is it's supposed to bring up the toxins and all that stuff out and to the forefront, and then it'll clear out. So that a lot of times we get people who are like, I just got a facial, why am I getting acne? And it's like, because that's what it does. It's supposed to clear it by having it all come out and then clears. That's what it does. So I mean, those
Right.
little things they were doing, it probably isn't going to make that huge of an impact. But yeah, like I said, if they don't do it every single day, then it might. So I just wouldn't even risk it. But the
Fair.
moisturizer, sunscreen, yeah, y'all wear that every day. If you don't wear anything else, what I learned is sunscreen. Because for one, it usually has moisturizer in it, and two, it's just the most important ingredient to have on your face is SPF. Because the thing that actually ages us is oxygen and sun, and we can't avoid oxygen. We all need that, but the
Mhm.
sun will age you. So
Mhm.
it's just what it is. Moving on. I just had to get that out. I don't use my school knowledge for a lot on this channel, but I had to get that out.
Hey, it's
Um,
important. The people gotta know.
so then we see Truly, who like, aged overnight or something. I was like, holy crap, she's a whole teenager with purple hair.
Like, "Bonka, donka," like, just big, and I'm like, "Okay, truly, hey."
She gave me Kylie Jenner vibes at Kim Kardashian's wedding with the purple hair. Like, I was like, if this
Totally.
was Kim, she would have been freaking out on her. But Christine
Definitely.
loved it. She had a purple dress and everything to match.
Yes. She already calls Christine and David husband and wife because they live together,
Mhm.
and I thought it was so cute. Christine in her confessional, she was talking about her conversation with Truly when they were moving in with David initially and how they've both never lived with a man full time before. And
Mhm.
I thought it was just so cute how Christine's like, neither have I. It's okay. I'm nervous too. Having this experience for the first time together.
Yeah. And I was like, poor Peyton. I mean, he lived
Right.
with them, but I guess he doesn't count.
I totally forgot about Peyton.
He lived
So
with
did
them.
Christine. Neither have I.
Neither have I. Your brother doesn't count. He was just a boy.
I mean, he doesn't.
Not a full-grown man, no. I can see that, but I kind of laughed a little bit. I'm like, you had a son.
Right. No, that is hilarious.
But it did also make me feel, as somebody who comes from like two-parent household, it was a little weird to hear somebody be like, oh, I've never lived with my husband.
I know.
I'm not used to a husband being around all the time, even though I've been married for 25 years. I know they're polygamous, obviously, but it's still a little bit weird to hear, just like when Jen was saying the one episode about how it's weird to hear Robyn say she's attracted to somebody who loves their wives. It's just like one of those things where I'm like, this is a little, but I guess, you know.
Yeah. But McKelty said that she is accepting David as her stepdad, and it looked like it made the other girls nervous. I think mostly Aspen, but
Yeah.
there's another one. Oh, Isabel.
Aspen seemed to be like, what? The nice thing actually about this whole little scene too is Christine says that she told Truly that Kody is her daddy, won't be replaced, that David is not trying to replace him and stuff, which is definitely very opposite of what Kody wants us to believe that she's telling the children. So I hope that Kody saw that scene and took it to heart, even though I'm sure he just found something else to be mad about.
Yeah,
Oh, she's
he
telling her something.
probably disassociated during that moment.
Rolled his eyes and checked his watch, I'm sure.
So then we get Mary, and she is hanging up the ghost of Sister Wives Past on the porch in Parowan, Utah, with her resting witch face hat on. And she just plays dumb. Christine's getting married pretty soon, but I don't know when. She's just boop boop hanging her little Sister Wives ghosts. So she's
It's
really
like,
happy for her. Honestly, she probably had a better reaction than Kody and Robyn did. And she did seem at peace with everything, but I just thought it was so bizarre that that's what they're going to film her doing, just like hanging those ghosts. It's got to be illustrative of some kind of.
well, and it's like, I don't know if they were filming for the season at this point, but like, why else do you think these cameras are here? The wedding's coming up, girl. Isn't Leon going?
And it was just like she walked out on her porch. Oh, hello. I'm just hanging the ghost of Sister Wives Past. So happy for Christine. Glad she found her soulmate. See you later. I'm like, is she walking away? Is that all we're gonna get of her?
It reminded me of, I don't know if you ever saw this as a kid, but Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, when he would walk into
Yeah.
the room and be like, oh, hello there.
What is going on? This is not even a confessional.
Did she not know the cameras were going to be there? They just show up now in Parowan.
Hunt her down. What do you think is going on today? Why do you think we're talking to you?
Like paparazzi or something. So then we go back over to Christine and the family. We meet David's daughter, Ray, who I automatically like because she said one of the funniest things to me this entire episode. But they were talking about how her and McKelty were similar. And then McKelty was kind of giving her a bunch of crap, saying, like, oh, you said that you didn't want my mom to marry your dad, like to Christine, as Christine's getting ready for this rehearsal. And then this girl was like, no, I didn't mean that. I mean, I'm with McKelty on a lot of things, but, you know, whatever. And then she brings up how Christine named her kids. And it cracked me up because think about it. Aspen, McKelty, Gwendolyn, Isabel, Truly, Peyton for a boy. Like, what? It killed me a little bit.
It's like they're all like Disney names.
And nobody laughed at it. I was like, if I was there, I would have laughed so hard.
I think maybe they were offended.
But at this moment, that's
Oh
when
my
all the
God.
kids gave their permission to. So
Yes, that's also true. I mean, I think they probably gave it a little bit earlier than that, hopefully. But yes, that's when they gave it on camera. I also noticed in Christine's confessional, and I'm sure this has been happening since the beginning of the episode, but this is when I noticed it. It says Christine, David's fiance.
and not ex-wife. Yep. Isn't it nice? I
How
mean,
cute.
Robyn will forever be wife number 4, but Christine is now David's fiance.
She was number one.
He was number
We gotta bump up Robyn's number here. Like, we gotta bump it up to number 1, either wife number 1 or just Kody's
like
wife.
Supreme wife, last one standing.
Yeah, number 1. The only wife of Kody.
Kody
Like,
soulmate.
something. We gotta stop this wife number 4 thing, okay? Especially now that Christine is married off to someone else. We gotta stop this.
Wife number 3 is ceasing to exist. So why do we have a wife number 4?
They're all ceased to exist. Janelle's gone and Mary's gone. Mary's hoping for another soulmate situation herself. So let's give Robyn the full title now. She's earned it. I mean, she definitely has. She's trying to redirect Kody all the time for us for no reason. So let's let her have her title.
I hope that that's not what the whole next season is when we see them. Because if it is, this show is not going to last long. I don't think it's going to last that much longer anyway. Kody needs to be able to speak.
Sacrifices that I made to love you, wasted.
Cody and his stupidity is like half of the show.
That's why we have him in solo confessionals, because we cannot have Robyn messing with it anymore. I think that's why the look back wasn't together, because we need him. Between him and Christine's confessionals, we just need those.
Janelle arrived, and she just talks about how she loves David. She thinks that they're a really good fit for each other. Christine cries. They're at the little rehearsal area, and she cries going over the rehearsal plan a little bit. She's just so happy that everybody's there, especially her mom. And then everything else was basically a regular rehearsal, except David pretended to fall and did a combat tumble.
That made me laugh, though, because in the confessional, he was trying to blame Christine for it. Like, yeah, you pushed me. And she's like, I was and I was like, Christine, he's joking.
She's the least close person to him.
They kind of remind me of each other. I think she needs a little bit of that in her life.
They're totally perfect for each other, from what I see on TV, at least.
The nice thing about Janelle's little confessional, too, is she was talking about how David has seeming to fix what has been broken from Kody all these years of just the neglect, basically, that he has bestowed upon Christine and these other wives that they've all lived through. The relationship that Christine should have had this whole time, and David has come in and seemed to fix Christine in a way. So it's really nice. That was really beautiful of her to say. And when they were coordinating this whole rehearsal thing, I realized Aspen should be a wedding coordinator. I've worked in weddings too. She is on point with it. She knows how to direct people. Honestly, if she would have been my photographer on that wedding day, we would have definitely got in and out a lot faster.
I remember telling your wedding photographer, you have to yell at us.
Give us direction. I think that if she's not a wedding coordinator and she don't know what to do with a career, I think she should look into that, because she was very good at that.
She kind of had a wedding coordinator outfit.
Whole vibe. The whole vibe.
Yeah. We have Christine's mom. It's not like a confessional, but just like a little side discussion with, I think, Aspen and Isabel are with her. This is where she tells us officially, although I think it's been known. I thought it's been known, but it seems like Aspen and Isabel had no idea. But this is where we find out that Christine's mom was not at the wedding with Kody because it was considered a religious ceremony. It really was just for their religion. So because her mom was no longer a member of the church, then her mom was not allowed to be there. So her mom is really excited for her too now. There's lots of tears. I think she said she was a little bit worried about what the wedding was going to be like because she was already crying so much now.
When it comes to her crying too, when she was about to cry, she's like, I don't want to start crying. I'm about to get emotional. And one of the daughters was like, oh, mom wants that. So then she just let it out. And you see this later too when Maddie is about to get emotional. She's like, I don't want to cry or whatever. And then Christine's like, no, do it.
Do it.
You can tell Christine loves it when people get emotional, especially over her and David. So she just eats it up.
So that concludes the rehearsal pretty much for the ceremony, at least. And Christine and David have a little moment just like taking in the view a little bit, where they're going to say their vows the very next day. And Kody just pops up in a confessional for no reason. We're
with
having
his
a
heart
moment.
of the ocean, even. He still has that damn heart of the ocean around his neck, and he wants to pop up in a confessional again.
It's actually,
where did he get this neck?
It's the color of my nail. Look, it's like
Honestly, did he really get this out of the ocean after the old lady threw it in? Because I'm
I
really
think so now.
confused on how he got this, what the hell it is, and why he's wearing it every day. Is that some ashes
loves
in there?
it.
His failed relationships? Like, what is that?
The ghosts of sister wives past.
Did Robyn get him that necklace? Like, did he take it out of Robyn's closet? I'm just really confused. From my sister wife's closet, the jewelry they didn't sell? I
Maybe.
don't know.
What does the locket do?
I must know. Yeah, Cody's back with that damn heart of the ocean, and he's telling us about his wedding with Christine, and that's when he said was all lackluster, and he had that 1,000-mile stare.
Then we go to a float in the Colorado River, which looks really fun. We're just gonna float around for 45 minutes, Christine said, and have
With a
like,
million
drinks.
people.
Yeah. Well, she said she had a 300 guest count wedding, and she has 6 kids. He has 8 kids. They're all adults. A lot of them have kids now. So even just considering immediate family, and then apparently Janelle is part of the deal. So Janelle is there with all her kids, and then they have their parents and aunts and uncles that are probably there like the day before
And
for the
Cody.
rehearsal. So yeah, I'm sure they had 50, 60 people with them for their rehearsal on this boat.
It looked like a whole congregation on that boat. Christine was just walking up and
Except they
down
were
the
getting
aisle.
drunk.
She's slapping hands. She's chugging beers.
Chugging McUltras. She's so funny. She's like, yeah, so when I was married to Cody, I didn't drink, but I drink now and I have tattoos, but I'm still a good girl. You have a bald man who used to ride a moped. You got matching tattoos. You chugged a McUltra. You're a badass. Just admit it.
In front of like 100 people while you smack their hands like you're
Yeah.
on The Price is Right or something.
Well,
You're just,
right.
yeah, so I guess they asked if anybody wants to give a speech, and Janelle from the way back corner was like, I do. And she had a speech where she also was about to cry, and Christine was egging her on too. Let's see them tears. She thanks Christine for being a part of the deal, because Christine had always made sure to keep Janelle part of the deal when it came to David. That was going to be her sister wife, whatever. I know if Robyn's watching this somewhere, she's punching the air. Mary even a little bit too, but Robyn definitely throwing a chair like she might have done at Suki. We're not sure, but we haven't seen Suki since. It was just funny when Janelle's giving this speech. Every time she says anything, Christine's like, "Yup, yes," and she's like responding to it, like they're just having a conversation one-on-one, and Janelle's really just trying to give a speech. But I was dying laughing at that. I don't know if it was the drinks or what, but Christine was so into it. She was like, "Yeah, yup, you are."
I don't know why. I definitely was probably just reading too much into it, but David had this paralyzed, fearful look on his face when Janelle was done and she was hugging Christine, because the whole speech was like, I'm just so happy to be part of the deal. And I get that, but I almost wonder, like, what does that mean? Like, we all know that that doesn't mean anything, right? Except for that those two are going to be sister wives forever. But David looked a little uncomfortable. I know he is totally against plural marriage. You know, it probably makes more sense now that we heard about his sisters and the potential cult that they're involved in. He probably doesn't have a very good view of plural marriage, but yeah, he just had this look of unease that I haven't seen him have before that.
It's probably because, well, for one, they're still going to call each other sister wives, and now David is actually married to Christine, and neither of them are married to Cody. So people are going to wonder if Janelle
That's
is.
the thing. I know it doesn't actually imply a true meaning of sister wives and that they're married to the same man, but I know that he's probably worried that people are going to think that, because out of context, that's what that means.
I could see him being like,
He looked the most uncomfortable he's looked yet.
So then Janelle goes into a little confessional, and she talks about how the natural question everyone seems to be asking is when it's her turn. And Janelle, like Christine, is a badass. She don't need no man right now. She ain't looking for a man. She's got plans, and then don't include any man, just her kids, and I'm sure like outdoors something, because you know Janelle likes the outdoors and whatever. So who says that Cody has said a lot of things about never being in love with them, and she anticipates to have the same result as Christine one day and find her soulmate. And that just kind of made me sad. Cody, you really gonna sit here and say you never loved these people for 30 years? How much of a life waster can you be?
I know. To abandon them emotionally in your marriage And the only reason that they stayed for however long they decided to stay is because they thought that there was love there. And then after the marriage is over, to deny them their reality that they had love in their marriage that they shared for 20 years, it's just awful, honestly. I'm glad that they're not as affected by this as they could be, because I think they both have adjusted really well, or all three of them really. I kind of am talking more about Mary and Christine right now because I don't think Kody emotionally abandoned Janelle. I think Janelle emotionally abandoned Kody after Kody abandoned their children.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different.
Yeah, but he definitely emotionally abandoned the other ones. He even wanted to work on things with Janelle, but Janelle was like, no, you're horrible at this point. Why even try? Janelle, I think, was over it before Kody was over it, which is why I think he's angry with Janelle in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's really sad to see Mary now want to find her soulmate in her 50s as well, when she just wasted literally like 10 years waiting for this man. And I mean, part of that is her fault. I could have left earlier, obviously, but it's just really sad to hear them have to start their lives over. I know that people can fall in love later in life and everything, and that's great, but it just sucks that it took all of this to get them. It's like, girl, oh, I feel for you.
We see her dad, and I was emotional. I'm telling you guys, real tears for several minutes, both times that I watched this. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, it's kind of a tender scene and everything, but her dad, you can tell he's sick, like Christine said, and he's not going to be around much longer. And him talking about how, like, the passage of time and all of that, it just, even now, it like chokes me up. So if you have anything else to say, Anne, go for it.
He's just so cute. He's just a cute
He
little
is cute.
man. He's whispering in her ear, telling her that he's so happy for her. And this is where we kind of learn, I mean, at least for me, that he never really liked Kody and that Kody treated her really poorly in his eyes and stuff. And I'm sure he watched the show and saw that, and also maybe has talked to Christine a lot and felt the same way throughout. So it's nice to see that he is also one of us. And he's just so happy that she has found somebody that's going to treat her right. And he's also happy that he gets to witness it before he passes. And I kind of got a little bit of that voice that she was mimicking, that Chris. Like, he does have a very deep voice.
Don't listen to that, Christine. That's not true.
Yeah. It's just like one of those really nice, tender moments, like you said. He's a lot like Christine, I think, and her mom. Like, they're both seemingly very emotional people. And so is Christine. She's got the dramatic. She was made for like a Lifetime movie role. She was made to be a romantic novelist. I mean, whatever the case is. Her parents must be similar, and I got a lot of that from both of her parents. So, and it was nice to probably have them both in the same spot because, like Christine said, he was coming with like one of her other moms or whatever. I don't know how many moms Christine has, but
I think two. She has her mom and then another mom. But I know that her mom left the religion a long time ago. So there could be other wives.
It was just a really nice moment for Christine, especially because you don't get many of those. She had a really horrible wedding with Kody, and he was there at the wedding too. So he apparently agreed.
Like one of the only family members she had there.
Yeah, so she was really happy that he got to see her second wedding, because the first one was just probably not. And this is going to be chef's kiss. So she wants him to experience this with her. And that was just really, really nice. But yeah, like you said, he was talking about how time just flies so fast. And she's like, yeah, I know, I'm 52.
That's when I started crying. It just makes me sad. Anyway, so we get to the wedding day.
Yeah.
I thought it was so hilarious. Truly Burson, I think she was doing an impression of Christine, but it was so funny. She's like, hello, my children, I'm getting married.
Truly, I think, is Christine's like little clone in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. She has the dramatic flair, but so performative.
I just see so much Christine. When you see a young photo of Christine, I'm like, that's truly, I know all of her kids look like Christine, but truly is just spot on to me for some reason. She's truly Christine.
Truly Christine.
When Christine comes in, McKelty or Aspen or somebody was like, you need to get in your pajamas. And she's like, I'm rewriting everything.
She did do it like that too.
It's like, everything that's traditional, I'm doing it different.
Yeah, she's going to wear a pink shirt and white shorts with her robe.
And she's going to not have a maid of honor. She's not doing the regular lineup or anything like that, which most of her weddings seem pretty emotional for the most part to me, besides maybe those two things, but she's just really fun. So she's changing everything. She said that she shared a marriage for a lot of years, so she ain't sharing a stage.
Yeah.
Made me crack up too.
Okay, Christine, go on.
They go to a confessional with Maddie and her brother and her husband, and she talks about how she's sad that the other family isn't there and that the family had to end in general, but she's happy for Christine and David. And I think, honestly, I've been waiting for one of these kids to even acknowledge this. So I'm kind of glad that somebody finally said it. I'm sad that our family is ending because for the most part, it seems like all the kids don't even care. It's good to see one kid at least be like, I'm sad that our family isn't the same, but I am happy that Christine is happy and that it's a healthy relationship. It's just weird to me. This is the first time I'm hearing it. Even Truly has been totally cool.
Yeah, I wonder if people are kind of just keeping those thoughts, not necessarily to themselves, but just being careful around production, because I think everybody does really like David. But this is so fast. And I mean, just a year ago, her family was much different. I could see them having those feelings for sure.
And I think even when she was crying in front of Christine, a little part of that was the same thing that she said in this confessional. She's so happy for them. She loves David so much. I think that's all she could really get out in front of Christine. But she also is a little bit sad that this is kind of closing the chapter on the plural family, because once everybody starts marrying off, like Christine being the first one to marry off and then probably marry, that's not going to ever be the same. But there's nobody else to blame for that but Kody.
If they can all get along, then it's only just going to get bigger. And isn't that the point of plural family, to just have a bunch of people running around? I mean, I don't know.
Then they go to a confessional with David because all the guys are showing up for David's part. And David said he found his unicorn in Christine, so he's really excited to marry her. He wanted to elope with her. He didn't even care to do this whole big wedding thing, but he wanted to give her exactly what she wanted, the wedding of her dreams, because she does deserve it. She never had it. Like we said, she got married in a storage container and a balloon. She deserves an actual day where she can be happy. And then Tony comes in and he questions this officiant. Like, he's just like, have you done weddings before?
Said, where did you get your certificate?
This is the episode where I'm so many things, right? I'm an esthetician. I worked weddings, and I also have officiated a wedding.
It's true. She's an Anne of all trades. Also a video editor and a podcaster, a chick chatter. She's a wife, Miss Anne.
And a dog mom.
And a dog mom.
Questioning this officiant was cracking me up because I would have wished somebody would have questioned me on all this stuff when I was officiating Carly's wedding.
I just got it in 20 minutes.
I got it online by the state of Michigan. But this guy apparently has officiated a wedding before, one of David's relatives, so they wanted to use him again, and honestly probably saved him a lot of money and stuff too, so kudos to that. He seems like a good choice. It's good to keep it in with people that you know, because then they might be able to give you a more meaningful sermon, which is what I think Christine is looking for. Like the guy said, Christine wanted him to talk about how much he loved their love.
And soulmates and finding love later in life. I think this is David's son-in-law. So then we get to a part which I thought was really funny. David didn't know what shirt he was supposed to wear. I don't know why. I thought it was just quirky, but he's all, uh-oh, Christine's not here, and I forgot what shirt she told me to wear. They're all going back and forth. It's like, can't somebody call her?
Yeah, someone could call her. Tony's even like, this isn't rust and this isn't plum anyway.
I think he ended up going with the plum.
And then he's like, what's Christine wearing? And David's like, I don't know, a white dress. She didn't show me. What was funny to me was it was such a good contrast between the look back that we just saw recently, where Kody had to pick Robyn's dress. And it's like, this is how a man is supposed to be. They don't need to know the damn dress. They don't need to know where the store was located, where she got the dress.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I get why he says he doesn't know, but I mean, you probably could assume a white dress. Yeah. I also don't get why Tony was so taken aback by that. What do you mean you haven't seen it? Aren't you not supposed to know? This is a wedding dress.
Like he's just used to Kody. Usually the groom is not supposed to know, so that was a little weird to me too. Tony seemed to be in here asking everybody the wrong questions.
Usually he's pretty chill, but he was just in there like putting his foot in his mouth a lot, doing some strange things. Also, he probably was one of the only people in that room that were mic'd. And I bet that they wanted something. But I did also hear from the YouTube video that I watched about McKelty's Patreon that McKelty said the only thing that was really like, scripted or producer influenced was this scene that we're about to get to right now, which is when the girls got together to give the something old, new, borrowed, and blue gifts. They were all going to do that originally, but the camera people asked them to turn towards the camera. I'm like, is that even producer driven or
They just wanted to be able to get a good shot.
she was trying to just make the point that everything that happened organically, but the way that you're turned when you're looking at somebody is just so not okay.
I guess. Going to that scene, they do give her the something new, borrowed again, and then something like old or whatever. Nobody got anything blue.
So Gwen was supposed to be part of that,
Okay.
and she obviously didn't come to the wedding. So I think Gwen was supposed to be blue.
Okay. Well, I liked Isabel's thing because what she did was she put pennies on the bottom of her shoes for good luck. Then Aspen got her a bracelet, and also she gave her something borrowed, which was her earrings that I think she wore on her wedding day. Yep. And Christine, every time she got a gift, she's like, yes, I'll use this, yes. And then McKelty just brought her wedding cake cutter, and I was like, girl, you still have that?
Samurai sorted it.
She's like, I brought this. It was good. So they go over to the scene where Aspen is helping, I think, Isabel get ready. She's curling her hair. And Isabel asks her about the whole stepdad thing. Is it weird to call him stepdad or what? And Aspen's like, I won't call him that. They are older. I mean, Aspen at least has to be nearing her 30s. I don't think she's that much younger than us. So to her, getting a stepdad at this age, you might as well just call him David or like whatever. He's not really like parenting you.
Or like your mom's husband.
I mean, if you get close with him, that's fine. You can call him stepdad or whatever your relationship is. But just because they're getting married today doesn't mean that you need to call him stepdad today. You can work to that if that's something you want to do. And also, you got to remember the older kids have a lot more memories with Kody than Truly would. So like maybe Truly might call him a stepdad or something. And then Isabel's like, well, isn't that like confusing when you're talking to other people? So then you got to say, this is my mom's husband. It just feels a little weird off the tongue.
I feel like they are just trying to figure out who they are to each other, what they call each other, because this is new to all of them. They grew up all as one family for so long, and they're just trying to navigate what a blended family looks like. I think they're all perfectly normal questions. I don't think that they are meaning anything mean about David by any means. I think this is just a really open conversation.
Like you said, they're used to having other moms, but they're not used to having other dads, so they don't know what to do with this other dad, basically. Then we do get to a cutscene with Kody in his Heart of the Ocean again, where he talks about how Truly is the youngest in that whole part of the family, so he's not really worried about it because she's still older for being the youngest. She's nearing her teens now, and she pretty much knows better to call David stepdad or whatever. But if she really wanted to, I don't think he would be bothered by that, I guess. Kody seems to be trying to turn over a new leaf in this episode of being like okay with everything all of a sudden.
Yeah. I think this is closer to the next season than it is this season we just watched. Maybe some time has passed.
And he doesn't think any of the other kids will be calling him a stepdad, which
I would agree.
I agree with that too. I mean, they're all older. They'll probably just call him David.
He doesn't really seem bothered by it either. He's kind of like, if they want to call him Timbuktu, they can call him whatever they want.
So then we get to Janelle's kids again in the confessional, Maddie and Hunter and Maddie's husband, and they talk about how Christine is a party animal and how David has this like, similar energy, but at the same time, he also likes to sit back and just kind of watch her and be like, you having a good time? You having a good time? Christine asks how she looks, and Aspen's like, oh, you're going to get it. Christine was like,
no.
My daughter. This is when Maddie gets emotional and Christine holds her and cries, but, you know, she loved it. She loved every second of it.
She did ask if she's okay, because she was rather emotional, but she said she was okay. She just was really happy and loves David. But I'm sure there's some conflicted feelings there, like she shared in the confessional, but for the most part, just happy.
Yeah, and we did learn actually from Maddie getting emotional. Christine talked about Maddie's wedding and how when she was a guest at Maddie's wedding, she just saw Maddie be a bride and she saw her glowing and her marrying somebody that she loved. And she just felt sad that day because she didn't have that kind of day. She really wanted it. And her wedding marriage to Kody in the garage just was uneventful. Nobody loved each other apparently. And it was just a sad day. And she just wish she would have had a day like that. And it made her feel a little bit bad. And I'm glad that now she's come full circle and she is now having her big day. And that's kind of where we leave it. They just all are heading to the wedding site, and now they're going to leave us on bated breath for the next special.
Yeah, they get there. Christine sits down on the floor for a minute, takes in the moment. She says that it's the best feeling in the world, and she hopes that everybody feels that. Next time, we get a little bit more of Robyn and Kody, and this is where this really awkward kiss comes in. People are already talking about it on YouTube. I can't wait to see it and talk about it with all of you guys.
Cody's just like, wait.
I know.
He's
got his finger out. So they're both doing conflicting messages. She's trying to wave the cameras away, like, okay, we're done. We're just gonna make out now.
Yeah, we're gonna get it on the lawn.
Yeah, and Cody, I still have something to say. Wait. So we'll get that. I don't know, whatever that is. David and Christine say I do. Everyone's gonna have lots of fun and everyone's gonna be happy. It sounds like it's gonna be a great day.
Yeah. But we will catch you on the next one, Chick Chatters. And
welcome new subscribers. We're happy to have you here. Thank you for joining our Chick Chat family.
And make sure if you haven't subscribed and you want to keep up with us to subscribe, because we got more Sister Wives content. It's not over with Christine's wedding. We're going to be doing a couple deep dives. We got Mary's catfishing scandal. We got the divorce and any other suggestions you guys have.
So keep your eye out for those things, and also for Christine's wedding part 2. Oh, hi, Jingle.
Yeah, Jingle wanted to say hi. Jingle, say bye, Chick Chatters.
Bye, Chick Chatters.
Bye.